Alright, let's move on to creating our waterfalls that are more in the midground of the shot. So, first of all, let's have a look at our photos. And just find something that kind of matches what I want. Okay, let's try to go with this one maybe. Let's just select it roughly, like so. And just copy. Go back to our project. And let's paste it here. And let's shrink it down slightly. And let's click Ctrl+G to group it. And we're going to call this MG for midground. So let's just do an image adjustments curves adjustment. And let's just increase the contrast of our waterfall image. A little bit less. Okay, and let's go into blending options and to our blend diff option, and let's just lower this. Okay. So if I just move this slightly here so I can see what I'm doing better. Let's just use a soft brush to erase the bottom of this. And I think we could use portions of this to have water coming down here and then going through here and down these sort of pathways. So let's just grab little bits and pieces of this. And let's just roughly throw them in to where we want them. Cut this out, and let's zoom in a little bit. Let's shrink this down. Okay, I'm just doing this really roughly for now. Let's have a look at grabbing this portion. Let's shrink it down a bit. That might not be a perfect fit. Let's disable this and keep it for something else later. I think from here we could grab this portion as well. And if we zoom in some more, let's just take this and create some horizontally flowing water here. Okay, let's just use a hard brush to delete a little bits of this, and a soft one too maybe. This, I think, We can maybe stop about here. And let's move it a little bit. We can also take maybe this one tiny bit and have it dripping off here. Why not? Actually, maybe not there. Maybe let's do here. Okay. And the one above it, we can make a little bit thinner. And place it like this. And let's duplicate it. And let's place it here. And we can use the clone stamp tool if we set this to current layer and just draw this in a little bit more. Okay. This we can make even a little bit smaller. And let's put it here and delete the bottom. And let's just dodge tool this area. And then on this, because the highlights are here, but then here we're going into shadow, we can slightly shadow the bottom of it. Okay. Let's go look for some other reference. Okay, maybe let's use this. Let's just copy this and paste it here. And we'll key out the shadows. And we could put this here maybe. Actually, let's try, instead of keying out the shadows, what if we set this to lighten or screen? I think lighten actually looks quite good. Now, let's just quickly create a mask, invert it. And what we could do is we could go to our Z depth and here go to curves, and we want the white and the black to meet somewhere in this area. So I want the inner courtyard garden to be white, and just outside here I want it to be black. Somewhat like that. And let's go to image, apply image to apply this to our mask. Okay. Now if we disconnect the link between the mask and the layer, we can actually move the layer without moving the mask. So let's maybe put it here. And I like how at the top here you can see this water going through this area, so I want to keep that. Okay. And I think also let's use our clone stamp tool and let's make it soft. And with current layer selected, let's clone some of this and change the blending mode to light in here. So let's clone some of this. Just this mist around the waterfall. This will help us separate the shadows in front and sort of the mist behind much more nicely, hopefully. Okay. And actually let's merge all of these. And I'll just use the dodge tool here at the top to really get this to catch the light. Just to kind of draw our attention to this focal point. And underneath it, actually, let's go back to our triplanars. And I have a grass triplanar, and I'll just paint in a little bit more here. Just to make this whole area more of a garden. And we could adjust some of the colors here as well a little bit in my triplanars. So you see how having them available is really good when you want to make some changes and change a little bit of texture somewhere. And it's a non-destructive way of working where you can continue improving things until the last moment. So let's just paint in some red brick texture here. Okay. Alright, let's close this down and go back to the waterfalls, and I'm just gonna again use the clone stamp tool and clone a little bit of this. Just to make this area look more wet, as if this water is splashing everywhere once it's landing. Okay, let's just make this a bit darker here. And here the waterfall also, let's maybe take the highlights and burn them down a little bit. If we burn more of this side, it'll hopefully look like the light is striking from there. Okay. Let's actually have another look at our grass. Could get a little bit more. And let's maybe color dodge the grass a little bit here. Alright. So next up, let's try to get some of this water running down here through these areas. So let's have another look at this little bit that we saved earlier. Maybe we could grab this and just shrink it a bit. Put it there like this. Maybe 5. I'm just feathering my polygonal lasso tool so I can cut this out slightly better, hopefully. Just trying to think of how this water would be running down this area. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a little bit of thought helps. Alright. Let's have another. Well, this is useless actually. Let's have another look at these. Okay, maybe let's utilize this once more. Okay, and let's just flip it. And let's put it like this here. And let's once again just key out the shadows. And let's create an empty layer underneath and merge this down just so our adjustment is baked down. So if we select our layer, we can see that this is not a square image anymore. And then let's go into image adjustments curves. And let's just bring this down a bit to fit in with the shadows. Okay, and then let's just erase the needless bits. And here, let's just actually take it bit by bit. So I'll grab this chunk and Control-Shift-J to cut it out and duplicate it. Actually let's reduce the feather to 2 pixels. So I'll put this here maybe. I'm just kind of trying to think of, you know, this water coming down and going through all of the houses in their, I guess, sanitation systems, whatever. And then just being poured out back onto the streets. So we'll put that there. Let's take this chunk, copy it, and we can put it here. Let's take these bits and maybe stick them on here. And here's like a little wall. We can make that go in there. Here's like a little roof. Maybe the water is coming out from underneath it. No, actually, let's keep that. And let's copy this again. And make it seem like the water is coming off the roof. Okay. This we can move slightly maybe. Okay, let's keep it there. But let's just delete it here at the bottom. And we have some more of this. I think maybe we could copy this a little bit. And sort of put it there. I'm trying to roughly think of this water running down from here, but also I'm trying to do it quickly, so my physics isn't perfect here, but just roughly trying to kind of come up with a way that this water could be running down here. So down here, then this way. Then here we can, underneath this layer, let's just paint in a little bit here, so that there's like a hole in the fence. And then we'll take this and copy it and flip it like so. We'll just softly delete this here. Let's merge all of these. And let's take this. And we're also gonna add, okay, let's actually, oops. Let's duplicate this and we'll reuse it twice. So here, we could put it this way. Let's just maybe grab this bit. If I squash it like this, and copy a little bit here. So it kind of feels like it's going off of these balconies. Okay. And the second half we'll put on the other side. We'll put that there. Let's make this a little bit brighter with the dodge tool. And here it can be darker. And we'll also want to grab a chunk, duplicate it, and make it go this way here. And let's just create a mask. And here, let's just softly paint this in. Okay, and let's merge that down. And we can take our other copy of it. And I think let's put it down here. Actually, let's see. We might want to get a different picture. We'll check if this works. Yeah, this should be alright. So let's just dodge to a little bit. And let's try to take these chunks and put them here in ways that make sense. Maybe like that. Oops, I've merged too much. Let's make this a little bit brighter. And then here I'll just erase out some of this tree really quickly. And I think up here we could make it look like it's coming from inside somewhere in the structure. Okay, so this area looks pretty good. There's a lot more action now in that area. So I think we could put in a couple of large water holes here and here.